Okay, who had a relatively wonderful childhood? Raise your hand. Okay.
Pre-teenage.
Who had a medium? And who had a really bad childhood? Nobody had really bad. How many, according to your parents or your mother's story, if you ever asked her, you were hard to get out of her birth? It was hard. It was hard. It was kind of medium hard. How many of your mothers told you it was real easy? You just came out really fast, like a fish. How many of you came from C-sections? Nobody knows. Did you ever ask your mother? Nobody? You did? Okay. How many of your mothers drank alcohol and smoked cigarettes when you were in her? Nobody else? You probably never asked them, or they didn't want to tell you. Okay. How many of you, your parents divorced? Pretty good. And it goes on and on. Okay. Do you agree that you chose your parents?
Yes.
Does anyone disagree with that? That you just dropped down out of nowhere? So, from a yogi point of view, do you pretty much agree? Is there anyone that disagrees that you did not choose on some level your parents?
I don't know.
You don't know. We can't know for sure, of course, but we can only know from the wise ones that have come before us and the scriptures that seem to ring true for thousands of years. That we actually, and in our lineage and in the belief system of which we're part of, and I've been part of for about 43 years now, and it even dates back to when I was a Christian too, that there are no accidents. You don't just all of a sudden get born in West Berlin to a German family or to a Russian mother in Yugoslavia. It's like we've all come back to regroup with that which we've been before. Maybe finishing up old business, maybe coming in as their teacher, or they, your teachers, are all coming back to learn something from each other, or maybe to do it better than the last time around. Sometimes we have one daughter, and sometimes I'm talking, and I will say my mother or my sister. I say, I mean my daughter. And then what happened when my brother came down from Berkeley in California, and it happened so much while he was there for 5 days with he and his family, his daughter, that I would try to say my husband's name. Did you notice that? I kept saying my older brother's name. Or I'd say my brother, Bruce, Grishabit. It must have happened like 10 times in that weekend. I said, this is so weird, because it had never happened before. And then I started getting kind of deja vu remembrances that we had also been, he had been my brother. And it became more real then and more understandable of our challenges that have come in these last 30 years of marriage, and our greatness and our challenges. And I haven't quite put the pieces together, but it was a great awareness that sometimes you'll even call your mates or your mothers and fathers or your brothers and sisters in another reference to another lifetime, which indicates that we've all been with each other before. So this is the interesting thing. You're in a strong relationship, in a marriage, or in just a commitment to each other. whether it's a man-wife or a woman-woman, a man-man, or in relationship to your children, say, but even stronger to a mate. And then it seems to be so perfect, and then it isn't as perfect as the beginning, and then perhaps even one gets the feeling to go with another mate or another remembrance, and then what you have to expand your consciousness to is everybody in this room as we sit here. If we've been alive 8.4 million lifetimes, you've probably been with everybody in this room in some relationship. Strange, right? But think of 8.4 million, that's a lot. So when you see somebody, and it's almost like, I know you from, but you can't remember where you know each other from, or you're attracted physically or mentally or spiritually to someone, whether they're a man or a woman, whatever and it's an attraction or it's an instant love. Or I know, this is like, and other people that it's been that before. And what we're being asked to do as we elevate in consciousness, that expression, if you can't see God at all, you don't see God at all. Now, do we need to go every time and get a past life regression or go to a psychic or see why am I? No. It's almost like it's just a reoccurrence as we travel, really literally around the world one time a year. It's like I see people, and I don't often know where I saw them, and sometimes I've never seen them. But I have. I've been with them, and it becomes like this, like a watercolor of infinity. And then I started checking out body types or face types, because I've done a little NLP and all that, and seeing how we come back in group types also. What energy we're coming from, what energy center we're coming, whether you're in a male or female body, after a while it doesn't even matter. And then sometimes you meet people and you can't tell if they're men or women. And then sometimes you see a woman and you knew her last lifetime she was definitely a man. Or a man and a woman. And then sometimes you meet, and you are gay, or you meet gay couples or become very friends with them, and then you see that possibility, not on a sexual level, but on a real true love. Brother, sister, it keeps multi-leveling our relationship with everyone. And are you following me? Is this true? Are you having you've been confused as I speak? No? Yes? Because it's very trippy. 8.4. Not all in a physical body. So we've been everything from the sea to the land to inanimate, but always breathing, because rocks breathe too, trees breathe too. Little animals, big animals, little bugs, little teeny little animals. We've been all of these. Until we've been, through consciousness and through destiny, arrived in a physical body. And here we all are, still trying to figure out what is going on. Now, when we were deer, we got to prance. And we didn't sit around saying, oh, I wish I was an elephant. Did we? I don't think we did, but I don't remember that. Or a horse is looking over at a cow, trying to mimic the voice of a cow. No, a horse makes a horse sound. It doesn't like then trying to make a goat sound all day long. It's a horse. A horse is a horse. There's horse things. Cow is a cow. Does cow things. Pig is a pig. Does pig things. Doesn't also get attracted. A pig doesn't want to have sex with a cow. At least I don't think it does. It wouldn't work probably anyway because of size. But the point is that you stay within your mammal in that mammal sense or that capacity. True? Is it true? You don't know. Well, I think if it wasn't true, a cow would have sex with a horse, and then we would start a whole nother species, but it doesn't happen that way unless man gets in. But this is the point. Then when we cross over to becoming human beings, what's the difference between a human being and a horse?
Horses don't have the death penalty.
They don't have it?
Horses don't have the death penalty.
No, but I think it's something a little bigger than that. We live in choice. And it's the first lifetime we live in choice of how to live and how to be. We live with a new possibility of purpose. We live with the new possibility of consciousness. And when you think of the spectrum of how human beings are, it's amazing. We go all the way to the elevation of saints and sages as we know them through history and those that are on this planet now, to somebody who is very logical just to keep killing people. But yet we're all human beings. So it's a road that we must travel to the consciousness of where, as a human being, we must arrive. And if it takes 8.4 million lifetimes, we will arrive there. And many of you are walking up that ladder of consciousness, correct? Let's see, flash back to 10, 15 years ago. Were you of the same caliber as you are now? Or do you feel like you're finding more purpose and refining more your life? Is that true? Yeah. So we're all rising to that level of consciousness where you become one with Creator. Now you can argue, well, I'm trying to think of a more wild animal than our domesticated that we've kind of messed up like dogs. Let's say a tiger. A tiger has a tiger state of oneness with Creator because he doesn't have a choice. That's easy. You find a newborn, everyone wants to be around a newborn. The newborn is at one. We know. And being a mother, being in many deliveries and living years like that, everyone wants to be around the glow and the light of a newborn. But in that first year of all of our lives, your neocortex was developed. Now what is that? Your consciousness. You're born with your reptilian, fight or flight. You're born with your mammalian, which is that which all other animals do. But that first year sets your neocortex or not. That first year can bring a baby up through their whole years to become a murderer or an enlightened being. And who gives it that first experience? It's your basic caretaker, and for most of it was our mother. Or you were orphaned, or you were shipped out at 6 weeks to a nanny. That's why my love for pregnancy yoga is so vast, because most people don't know this, but it's been scientifically proven now. It's nothing that we're just saying from Sanskrit. It's scientifically documented now that they've been able to tell through all these past 20 years, through different people like Charles Pierce, Bruce Lipton, and tons more, that they're finding that this is blank. The intuition, sixth sense, pituitary is working, but the development of this part of the brain comes the first year of your life. And then many of us have to struggle through God knows how many years, through how many addictions, to get back to restructure this neocortex through meditation. Now this is the beauty of the Creator. Unless we're severely damaged, and it's hardly ever until we're 55 years old, we can regrow this part of our brain. It's like so amazing. And really, you may think you're coming just to do this or that, but your soul has brought you here to rebuild this. So shall we do some rebuilding, some reconstruction today?
What happens when you told until you are 55?
After 55, it's very, very difficult to repair. Like it's challenging so much after 55 to even repair the whole body. Because the patterns have been so embedded in the gray matter of your brain that that's all it knows. Now, can it be? I think so. I'm not sure. But I would say if you're under 55, get to work. If you're over, don't give up. But it's just a better chance to start young and clear the cellular memory. In 7 years, that's how long it takes to get alcohol, marijuana, pesticides, all of that junk, pharmaceuticals out of your system. That's how long it takes to renew all the cells. So don't wait until you're 48 years old.
No.
You know. Again, I always talk of purpose, vitality, abundance, and just attention to why you are alive. It's worth coming to something now, isn't it? Rather than just hoping for the best, always hoping for the best. Hope is benign. It's good. You know, Obama talks about hope all the time because that's the level some people are on. They just need hope. They're hanging on one rope and they're ready to drown. And if you can give them hope, yes. But I would hope all of you are above the level of hope and you've initiated something in your lives. Otherwise,